Alright guys, welcome back to another recap. I'm going to try to make this one quick because I also didn't have as much time to trade today. So today's P&L goes something like this. Typical red to green. I was down $400 on the day. Took two red trades to start off the day. Then kind of made a little bit back and then went back down to another $400 day. I think it was more like 500, 490s I think the first time. But went down there twice, kind of even double bottom here, but I was able to make all of that back. And then I had a very nice trade where I was wrong the whole morning. Finally, I was like, you know what, let's join momentum. Finally got a good trade. I went instantly from like negative $200 to $400, $500, $600 on the day, and then kind of scalped my way to a bigger green day. Now, today I said early in the video right away, I said that I didn't have as much time to trade. I've been having a lot of internet breaker issues in my room, and so finally was able to get an electrician to come out, and they came out way earlier than I told them to. I told them not until past 11:12, and they showed up at like 9:30. So I mean, I guess it's good. Hopefully this fixed the issue, but if not, then that's going to be a pain. And then also barely had, I would say, an hour, less than an hour to trade today. Which, no excuse, because I should have made a lot more than I did, but at least I was able to get myself green and out. Anyways, enough rambling. I'm going to get over to the recap. If you guys are new, hit the like button. If you guys enjoy these recaps, if you guys learned something, leave some comments down below. If you have any questions or anything like that, I stream live every single morning, completely free, 15 minutes before market open. Over 200 people on TradeCaster, over 100 people here on YouTube every morning, so you guys come in and stop and say hi. So let me show you guys my trades. You guys can see that... you see, I only kind of traded the first 45 minutes of the market open, and then after that he was messing with stuff. Kind of came back. I actually made like, I think maybe $90 in these two little scalps here, so that was actually pretty good to make 90 bucks there. And then I was like, yeah, this is too choppy later in the day, I'm not gonna risk it, so I ended up just not trading anymore. But like I said, I mean, technically I was here the whole morning, and I should have been able to take a little bit better advantage of this whole move, because Tesla did go from low of 176.50s all the way up to 186. So that thing just moved $10 a share today. And you know, I'm glad for 600 bucks, but for it to move $10 a share and wanting something to really a day like this, I definitely did not take advantage of it. But you know what? Here is my month of March. Still all green for the month of March, and technically I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days left for the month of March, crossing 5 figures already, so should be a decent month if I can keep it up. Anyways, my first couple trades on Tesla, and I really didn't think this thing was going to go all the way up to the highs that it did. If you guys look at the bigger time frame, I knew 186, and I called 186 this morning being the top of Tesla, but I really didn't think we were even going to get over 180 on this thing. I thought this thing rejected 186 several times last week, so here's that 186 high. So I thought we rejected it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. I thought that's enough of 186. We're just going to flag right here for a red flag and actually move down lower, maybe hit new lows down to 170s, 160, high 160. So that's what I was kind of thinking going into today. Obviously, I was completely wrong, and I guess that's one thing of the market. You know, if you're wrong, you got to admit you're wrong and then quickly switch bias. Now, here is not showing my trades. Thought I selected it. Yep, I did. So hopefully it popped in pretty quick. All right, so my first two trades were red, and I think I took a long first, so I longed at 98. Yeah, so kind of left the first 3 minutes for it to kind of just settle itself. To me, this looked like a strong push, and then this looked like a strong sell-off. So this sell-off here, I was looking for a pullback to go down lower, and ended up recovering all the way up, closed almost right at VWAP, and then made the next push. So that's when I was like, you know, I might take the next pullback and see if we kind of break out two highs. And highs I was looking at pre-market here, so one high of 180 is almost 181. So that's why I ended up taking it along there. Cut it out. I don't know how much I lost. Looks like almost 30 cents on 300 shares, whatever that is, maybe 150 bucks red or something like that. And then I ended up getting another red trade somewhere through here. Maybe was a green trade, so it looks like I longed down here. To me, it looked like it wasn't accelerating again, so I ended up taking some longs there. Got the nice push up back to VWAP, and then here I think I took a long bouncing of VWAP and looking for this thing to push back up, right? So we kind of already rejected these highs. We didn't get to 180, 181 pre-market highs, which if you guys see down here my 5 minute. So we kind of already rejected this level here. So 5 minute stuff, I thought this thing would keep going back up to sell off here, but when we didn't and push right back up, I thought we'd again, kind of go back up. And at this point, I don't know that it's a choppy day, and I don't know that it's a trending day. So I was kind of saying, if this gets back up to this level, maybe we can short back on down. If this gets back to this level, maybe we can long, look for the next leg back up. I still didn't know that that was going to happen, and that's kind of what I did. I ended up taking a short here, back on down, and then I think I actually took a long. So I shorted. Oh no, I did not. So I took 300 shares short here on that stuff of VWAP, took him back down to low a day. Was looking for low a day, didn't quite get it, and I closed it. So that was a good trade there. Um, Here, once we got up again to that 180, I was shorting this thing, and I was looking for the top on this thing, and I think that was my mistake. Like I said, I had a bearish bias coming into this morning. So every little pop to me looked like a stuff, and so I tried shorting there, didn't quite work. Tried shorting here, there, it didn't quite work, and so I ended up missing all of this for long. You could see I tried another short here, added 300 more, still went for another squeeze, so I took a loss there. And then here, as soon as this thing started pulling back, at this point, I was kind of letting this thing stall. Sometimes when it moves that high and it's just not flushing right back down, this is probably right here. Sometimes the stocks like to stall out for a second. Not that I look at EMAs or trade based off of EMAs, but sometimes they stall out a little bit so that the EMAs catch up to the stock, so that the VWAP catch up to the stock, so that more buyers buy the support, more sellers are at the resistance, and therefore you get a bigger move, either if you get that breakout out of there or you get that sell off out of there. And I think that's exactly what this thing did. It started stalling, and it just stalled from 9:05 all the way up to 9:25, so about a 20-minute uh, consolidation there within, not even a dollar range, less than a dollar a little bit. So at this point, kind of going back and forward, I might have been able to chip some here, some not. But when I saw this huge candle squeeze, I took a long before that, but when I saw this huge candle squeeze after that consolidation, to me, I thought, if this is strong today, we've already made a move, we already consolidate 20 minutes, and we didn't sell off. I might as well try to long this thing. And so I ended up taking a few longs. Oh, and before that, another reason why I decided to chase it is because some of these shorts that I had, I could have, bet it. Obviously, I took the trade with my account, but I could have bet it in my account saying this is flushing. This is flushing. This was one I added, and then this thing was dropping. I was in it pretty nice, and then boom, pops right back up. And then this thing kind of pushes up again here, tries to make a new high, fails, tries to make a new high, fails, tries to make a new high, fails, adding short here, and then here again. I'm looking for this thing to kind of break whatever this pattern was here. It's try sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off, slurps right back up. So again, 700 shares in that trade. If this thing would have just sold off, 82, 81, 85 with 700 shares, that's a nice trade. Didn't sell off. So this was kind of like my first attempt to go short. Didn't work. This is kind of my second attempt to go short. Tries to go for a new high, gets stuffed again, pushes down. I get this little pop here again, and again, it happens again. This thing tries to sell off, sell off, sell off. In the trade, and then just slurps right back up. And so at this point, to me, watching this ticker live here, that was one, that was two, that was three attempts that I took short. That was three attempts that failed, maybe break even, small losers, but didn't flush, And so when this thing finally stuck this candle here with this volume, I said, I'm longing this thing. Let's go all the way up to 186. And so I took a long there, and this was a trade that really flipped my day around. So this trade right here is probably the one that took me from negative 400, negative $200 there, all the way up to 400. So that was a $600 trade here. Longed, added to it. So I longed 300, I believe, and then I added 300. I sold 200, and then I added 500. So then I was sitting on this trade probably, so 6 minus 2, 4 plus 5, 9. So I was sitting in this trade with 900 shares somewhere around here. And this thing just could not catch pull back a red candle at all. This thing just went green, 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 green. You can see my last exit up here of those 900 shares, I believe. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 900, 300 shares all the way at the top out here. And here, this is the bad part, because I know I would have nailed it. So you guys can see I ended up shorting these two tops here, and then I covered down there. But this is where, out of nowhere, the guy shows up, rings my doorbell, and I was like, oh, sorry, guys, I got to go. But this whole time up here in the morning, I was like, I'm looking for the short. I'm looking for the short. This thing just rallied another, went from 83 up to 86, $3 a share, $3.50 a share with no pullback. I was like, it's time for the short. This thing is not going to keep pushing this much. And 186 is so strong on the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, whatever you call it. There was no way it was going to go parabolic to 186 and then parabolic past 186. The risk to reward on that trade just seemed a little better. And so I started flipping short. I hit a good shorts up here. What the one that I would have absolutely nailed was when you see the first stuff and it tries to reclaim. There is when I probably would have added short on these spikes, looking for this thing to stuff and then actually give me that follow through. So I would have been able to maybe take this straight up here 186.70s, maybe if it's a low entry 186, almost 186 if it was a good entry, to lows of 184.50s, dollar and a half. I feel like I could have nailed that trade there. And even here, I think in the meantime, while the guy was here, this trade was already, so he showed up here and he started messing back there and just kind of looking at stuff. He was like, I'm not going to turn it off. I'm not going to pop your breaker out right now. I'm just kind of looking at stuff. So I was like, okay. And so I was like, okay, let me take one trade. So I actually took this trade while he was here. As soon as it sells off, it goes right back up, taking the chances, take a short, and try to catch the move back down. I think I barely took any profit here. It was like a 30, 40, $50 trade. But the guy was here fixing my stuff, so I didn't really want to risk it. And then at that point, guy had to completely rewire my breaker, take it out and stuff. So I didn't even have power in my whole room for this whole time. He went and had to go to the store, replace it, all that stuff, yada yada yada. So finally, when I got power back again, I took some scalps here. I wouldn't even tell you what I did here. I mean, it looks like a big old engulfing. Bought the pullback, a little bit of sales there, and then big stuff here, big stuff here. Tries to push up stuff there, short into it and cover down here. So just kind of small little trades there. But I did add like $90 here. Which were these two trades right there were these last ones right here where I made like 30, $40 and then 30, 50, $60 there. But that's about it. That's going to be it for this recap. Pretty simple day. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the whole move to the front side. I could have definitely crushed it today if I would have, but even that, there was these two candles right here that I was so tempted to buy and I just couldn't get myself to. I ended up not taking anything there, but this right here looked like the best entry for that long. I just didn't see them and didn't think that was a good trade when I was watching it live. But you know what? Still a green day. Still keeping my all green month of March. Still only 4 red days for the year, and still live streaming every single trade every single morning. So if you guys want to hop in, just click that notification bell, and I'll see you guys tomorrow 15 minutes before market opens. You guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.